Hello and welcome to Deku Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review of the Halloween Oracle along with Venus Retrograde readings for Libra, Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Virgo. So yeah, I'm going to be using it and with one of actually the spreads that they talk about within the book. So yeah, oh sorry, before I unbox it and totally just throw it away, check it out. It's so cute. The Halloween Oracle, Stacey Demarco. It's by Blue Angel, is the publisher there. And I just love that. Experience the scariest night of the year every night, which is my favorite. Halloween in October is my favorite. If you guys watch me, you know this. So I was like, I don't care. I'm going to splurge. I'm going to get myself a couple decks. So I have two more deck unboxings as well for October. The inside's all orange. And I'm going to be doing 4 Venus retrograde readings with each one, with each unboxing. So yeah, this is the back of the box. I won't read the whole thing, but they have some of the pictures of the cards there. And again, the whole side has this wonderful little pattern, this Halloween pattern of bats, cats, ghosts, pumpkins, cauldrons, brooms. It's so cute. It's on the backs of all the cards as well as this inner book here. So here, I actually have to like flip it out to do this. So yeah, here are all the cards. And they all, again, have that lovely, they have this wonderful shiny, is it a laminated cardboard? I don't know. I don't know much about that stuff, but very plasticky. I guess they're plastic printed. I don't know, but I really, really like them. They're really, really big. For example, I have really small hands. I'm a very small person, but look at the size of the cards with my hand here. I'll put it down on the bottom so maybe you guys can see a little better. It's like the entire size of my hand. This is like roughly the size of my hand, these cards. I love them though. I really like that they are huge. I kind of think it makes them more fun. I really love the energy they give off. Love them. Within the book here, they also have a lot of, she has a nice little introduction talking about Halloween and Samhain, around the world, Day of the Dead. It's really, really interesting about how the veil is thinnest on that day, and that's why it's so important to connect with loved ones and get messages around that time. It's really, really an interesting little read as well. So definitely, if you decide to get this, read the beginning parts. She has nice little beginning chapters and some stuff in the back of it as well, I believe, that are really interesting about the history and just little interesting things. She also says how to use the deck. There's single card divinations. There is the Halloween 3-card draw, which is what I'm going to be doing. So we're going to look at the heart of the issue or question, the challenge, and the solution for every one of the signs for love situations during the Venus retrograde. So then we also have the jack-o'-lantern divination, which is like, kind of looks like a jack-o'-lantern, I guess, if you see it. It's cute. They also talk about how to bless the cards, dedicating them to yourself or dedicating them so that, you know, negative energy cannot come out through them, and, you know, protect them. Which I like to have I have my own little thing that I do with that, my own little mixture of, what's it called? Like sage and some other things that I use, that I burn and use the smoke to kind of cleanse my own cards and dedicate them. But I really, really like hers as well. She has nice little incantations. I really, really enjoy it. But yeah, and then she has the description of all the cards here with black and white photos and a nice little, again, a nice little incantation or like kind of a spell sort of to say with it. I love them. I absolutely love them. I love all the descriptions that kind of has like a history, has like a description about the, like, you know, the relevance of the image within this card and the meaning of it. And then it also has, like, you know, like the meaning of it, the message from spirit, like as pertaining to the situation when it is pulled. So it's really, really interesting, and I will be reading the full descriptions for each of the cards for every one of the signs, and I will timestamp this. So yeah, I absolutely love these cards, and I can't wait to try them out for this, guys. So without further ado, let's move on to the reading, the love reading for Venus retrograde for you guys. Okay, first I'm going to go to Libra, then Sagittarius, then Scorpio, then Virgo. Okay, we're going to do all my my fall babies. Okay. All right, Libra. So let's look at your love situation and what's going to be going on within your love lives and within romance during this Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde in Scorpio until the 31st, and then it goes into your retrogrades into your sign until, I believe, November 16th. So let's check this out. So first we're going to look at the heart of the issue or question that you will be facing during this retrograde. The second card will be the challenge. The third card will be the solution, as per the Halloween 3-card spread that they have in there. So thank you, Stacey Demarco. These cards are amazing. Okay, so let's check it out. So the heart of the issue or the question for Libras regarding love and romance during this Venus retrograde. First, we get the werewolf. Wow, exploring wildness. So, interesting. So let's go on to the challenge. The challenge for Libras in love and relationships during this Venus retrograde. During this Venus retrograde. I want to pull out the spider. Wow. You guys are... I haven't gotten any of these cards yet, so I'm quite interested here. I guess I'm going to have to, like, push some of this stuff to the side here, honestly. Sorry. I thought I'd have more room, but I forgot how big these cards are compared to all my other cards. So, you know what? I'm just going to... We're going to just say goodbye to all my gemstones and crystals today and just look at these cards. Okay. All right, and the solution. The solution for Libras, for whatever this issue is within love and relationships, whatever the main issue that they will be facing during this Venus retrograde. Let's look at the solution to this challenge, the solution to this challenge, to this issue. These cards are so hard for me to shuffle, sorry guys. All right, Midnight. Wow, I've never gotten any of these, and I did use them a little bit yesterday, like I was saying, for my other readings, for my personal readings. All right, so let's take a look at these cards one by one. So let me find the werewolf, and they are so beautiful. Wow, I really, really like them. I can't, like, I haven't been so happy with, like, any type of purchase in so long. And when I got these cards and really unboxed them and was taking a look at them. All right, so let's see what we get here for the werewolf. Oops. As I almost dropped the book. Exploring wildness. Yeah, wow. Luminosity triggers it. A wild moon rises. Pain and blood and fangs. Fur and howling and wolf and guises. After a painful, excruciating, bone-jarring struggle against the change, the man releases to the magic. Howling unrestrained under the full moon, now the half-man wolf rises up snarling and goes looking for blood. Yes, we all know the power of the werewolf. After the end of the European witch trials, an intense interest in the werewolf developed in folklore tales and evolved to become the stuff of horror stories. Fairly consistently since then, the Wolfman or Lycan has featured regularly in tales both oral and written. Of course, during the last 100 years, there have been many hugely popular movies, including American Werewolf in London, and themes in books such as the recent Twilight Saga series. Can't believe you just name dropped Twilight. Oh my god. The werewolf is a kind of shapeshifter, but one that has traditionally had little control over his wildness. In a way, an inner battle between civilization and wild animal nature fights inside the one body. The vitality, strength, and freedom of the animal versus the reason, control, and intellect of the man. Which one, though, is the dominant force? What is the healthy balance between our animal nature, the one that is wild, free, and... Sorry, this is a long one. Wild and free and connected to nature, and our radically civilized humanness, separate from our dominant over nature. The werewolf asks us to consider this balance and to develop... oh my god. The werewolf asks us to consider this balance and to delve into our own ideas of wildness, independence, and custodianship of the planet. When is the last time you spent all day outside? When is the last time you threw your head back and howled at the moon? Do you quash the vitality and curiosity of your body and mind by sitting all day in front of the computer? The werewolf challenges you to leave a balance between nature and your own nature. Between nature and your own nature. Yeah, that is what it says. So it's interesting. Yeah. So it really does talk about, you know, the balance. Again, this is so Libra, though. It talks about the balance between your wildness and, you know, how are you conforming? How are you conforming? And how does that, like, make you feel? How does that wild side of you feel to that? You know, you have an animalistic side, an animalistic nature. We all do have that side. But do we, is it unbalanced right now? Are you, you know, praying too much into that side and not enough into the real world? Or is it opposite? Are you, you know, conforming to society, like doing the daily routines, but you know, there's an unbalanced side of your life that is your passionate side. Are you not allowing that side to live? Are you not listening to those you know, those cries within yourself, of like the werewolf, you know, the animalistic cries, like I want this, I need this, this is what I need in my heart and soul. So are you really, you might be considering, you know, the balance between that at this time. You know, am I really following my truest desires, or do I need to really reconsider how I'm living my life? And is it in my truest, is it in my best interest? Am I being my truest self right now? I really think so. I think also, you know, it does speak, go outside, go spend some time in nature and your relationship with nature, as well as, you know, the nature within yourself. You need to find a balance there, because some of you guys might be squashing your, like, you know, your human, sorry, not, well, that's not really the word I'm looking for. Some of you guys might be restraining yourself too much, restraining the side of you that, the side of you that wants to live fully and freely and enjoy every aspect of life and experience passion and follow your heart, follow your truest desires, do something that you love, follow someone that you love, you know. Are you stuck in a, you know, the same old, and are you looking for more? Are you looking for this passion? Are you looking to bring this back into your relationships this month? These are all questions that you might be asking, like, where do, am I really living my truest self is what I'm getting here. Am I really living up to my truest desires, or am I squashing those in order to appease somebody else? Am I squashing those in order to live this specific life when I have other desires and I have other wants and needs that are not being fulfilled right now? I don't know, so you need to explore that wild side of you that craves more, that craves something more here, because that's what I'm getting. The spider. All right, so let's find the spider. I really like this one too. I really like all of them. I've never seen any of these. I haven't had any of these out in any of my private readings. So these are interesting for you guys. All right, community and web weaving. She spins her silk alone in the dark with hope of collection, sticky with dreams, weaving the world a wide web of connection. And this is your challenge. Masses of sticky spider webs make any Halloween decorations complete. The idea of haunted house covered in the artwork of a big hairy spider is classic horror. Even those of us who appreciate our eight-legged friends still hurriedly brush off those stealthy webs if we run into them in the dark. Although most spiders are not venomous, humans have an innate fear of them. Perhaps it's the fangs or the poison. Perhaps it's all those legs and the way they move. Perhaps it's where they live, often in dark, hidden places, or the way our Western popular culture has demonized them by making them giant, fierce, and man-eating. Some cultures, though, revere the spider in very positive ways. In many Native American traditions, for example, the spider is the creative that gives birth to all the other animals and sustains the web of life. The goddess spider grandmother, and there is also a spider woman, is a key deity that brings wisdom, safety, and communication to all the tribes. She created and wove all the stars in the sky and makes soft webs for those that are troubled to rest upon and be supported by. Spiders' webs can be seen as a symbol of connection, not necessarily entrapment. There is a fine line sometimes between a family or community supporting us and controlling us. This card looks at this discernment. It also suggests you review the way you communicate with the wider community, at work or generally with others, and take steps to improve this or do it slightly differently. It also indicates that there need to be a balance between what you do for yourself and what you do for others. If we give too much to the outside, our strength diminishes and we cannot weave the supporting web for ourselves. Wow. Libra. So that really goes well with werewolf, because I do think that there's a side of you, or there's something that is being squashed here about yourself. You might be conforming or letting other people kind of dictate how you're living your life at this time within love. Maybe some of you guys are trapped in a relationship where you feel like you can't do anything. You feel like, you know, this community, this life that you've built for you is now controlling you. And you don't know, you don't want to kind of get out of it. You're like, where's my control in this? Where do I fit in here? What do I want? Is this even what I want anymore? Or is this what everybody else wants? And am I just doing all this for everybody else? You're weaving this web for everyone else, but where's the web for yourself? Where's the love for yourself? You know, you could be focused on, if you're in a relationship, you could be focused on, you know, trying to appease this person, living their life, you know, and then suddenly you realize you built your whole life around them and what they're doing, and you know, and you're like, hey, I need more balance. I need to be able to live my own life too. We need to find a balance between that. I can't be doing everything for you. Like, you can't control my whole life and what I want to do and where I want to go and how I want to live it. You know, it could be an issue of control within a relationship, that you're like, hey, there needs to be more balance here, because I'm realizing I do a lot for you. And what gets done for me? What gets done for me in this relationship? What have I, you know, I've sacrificed, but what have you sacrificed here? You could be really needing to look at those balances and see if it's really conforming to what you really want out of a relationship. That could be the challenge, is how to communicate this, how to unweave this web, how to really fix this. And you guys are amazing at that. You're Libras. You're going to be figuring out and like really focusing on how to balance, how to, you know, strike a better balance, strike a better chord within your relationships. Or even if you're single and you're trying to figure out why you can't, you know, hold down a relationship, or why something isn't working, or why you can't get to somebody. It could be a need to balance. Maybe you're coming on too strong, or not at all. Maybe this is a negative cycle and you need to break free from it, and you realize, I've only been trying to live my life around this one person, trying to date them, but what about all these other people? What about my life? What about, you know, what I want to do here? You guys could be really trying to find a balance, trying to strike a chord here. All right, so let's look at midnight as the solution on how this fits into this. Midnight. All right, here we go. The most magical hour of all. The dark, it envelopes me, the witching hour awaits, true magic and enchantment, and the spell that change fates. The middle of the night, midnight, is the hour in which it is believed that ghosts, witches, ghouls, and magic are most likely to be active. Transition times such as noon, the time between tides, or even dark moon are traditionally powerful times for magical transformation. Wow, guys. And today, when I'm reading this, it's the Libra full moon. It's that we're in that 24-hour period of the Libra full moon. So this is really interesting that we're talking about the dark moon, you know, the new moon. Powerful times for magical transformation. In some Christian traditions, the witching hour is seen as 3 a.m. because it is the opposite to the time that Jesus is said to have died, at 3 p.m. But there is some consensus that midnight is the time of greatest magic, particularly around Halloween. As soon as the clock strikes midnight on Halloween, it is said that the spirits flow forward through the veil, and if benevolent, bring positive messages. If not so benevolent, they are mischievous and play tricks, at best or worst, cause havoc. Allow yourself to relax into the benevolent darkness of midnight. You may feel that this is your darkest hour, but know that the light will return again. The dawn always follows the darkest night. Know, too, that it is important to recognize that we all have darkness within us, just as we have light, and this isn't something to hide from. So yeah, there might be an issue that you really need to confront here that has to do with power balances. If you're starting to see somebody, or if you find that this is an issue that you often cultivate within your relationships where you're giving 100% and you're constructing your life around theirs, and you're kind of fighting what you really want and being like, no, it's okay, we can do this, or no, it's okay, we can move there, or no, it's okay, we can buy this thing, or go on this vacation, when you really want to go somewhere else. Or maybe you're not getting the passion that you deserve for what you're putting in here. And this could be, you could feel really, really alone, really lonely. This could be a time when you're realizing that there's a problem. Again, the darkest night. We're feeling the full weight of whatever is going on in our lives here. But you know what? There's light here. There's a way to get through this. And you're going to balance it out and figure it out, Libra, because you're that's you. That's what you do. You just balance things out. You find a way to make it work. You find a way to find balance within this mess, even if it is, if you're in a relationship and you have to leave somebody because you're finding that your needs aren't being met. What you really want out of life is not being met here, and you want something more. Those could be issues that you're facing if you're in a relationship. It could also be, working on these things. That doesn't have to happen. The darkest hour, this could be a really difficult moment. Can we fix this? This could be a month where we're really, trying to fix up our relationships, really looking at the cracks and the holes here, and is it falling apart? Is it sustainable? And you're trying to work it out. And Libras, I do think you are. If you're in a relationship and you want to work it out, it does seem like you're trying to. You're really trying to fix things. You're trying to make a difference here. Some of you guys are probably going to decide that, this is a really dark time, and I don't think it can be fixed, because my needs aren't being met, my passions aren't being met, and I'm not happy. And you could be, again, weaving a new web for yourself, rebalancing the scales, figuring things out. So, Libras, I hope this was helpful for your Venus retrograde. So I think those are things that you're going to have to keep in mind during this. A lot of balancing, big surprise there from Libras, where We got to strike that center chord where it all works out. All right. So that's your Venus retrograde love reading. The focus is questions, the challenge, and the solutions. All right. So now we're going to move on to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, we're going to look at the heart of the issue or question during Venus retrograde that you'll be facing in terms of love and romance. The heart of the issue or question, love and romance, that my Sagittarians are feeling. What is it? Why does this one want to come out? The owl. Interesting. I actually got this for a daily read that I did for my Instagram. And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's dekutarot, all undercase day. Oh my god, when I said day. DEKUTAROT. And it's on Instagram. I post some dailies sometimes. I post whatever I'm feeling. I thought it'd be a nice way to get to know you guys and kind of figure out what kind of content you guys wanted. So head on over there and we can talk about what other kind of videos you guys want to see me make. All right, so let's see. Okay, so that is your heart of the issue or question is the owl. Wise seeing, wise action. The challenge for my Sagittarians. Challenge for Sagittarius in terms of love and romance for this Venus retrograde. I feel something coming out here. Ooh, the witch. The witch. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put these back in here. I forgot that I moved it down so we could have enough room for these massive cards. All right, the owl, the witch. All right, Sagittarius, what's your solution in terms of love and romance for whatever issue you are facing during this Venus retrograde? What is the solution for my Sagittarians during this Venus retrograde? Hearth. Beautiful. Okay, so first we're going to look at the owl. Okay. Just getting used to this book, so don't make fun of me. There we go. Okay. Wise seeing, wise action, Sagittarius. Okay, so this is your heart of the question, the heart of the issue here. Silent, winged, and wise, all-seeing creature of the night. Show me the way, I will follow you in flight. Owls have for thousands of years been part of folklore and have been considered a special or sacred animal. With their huge, forward-facing eyes and otherworldly appearance, they have been seen as both wise and harbingers of the supernatural. There are many hundreds of species of owls, and almost all are nocturnal and carnivorous. Interestingly, they all have specially designed feathers that enable them to fly silently at night, giving them an incredible hunting advantage, sort of like having a stealth mode. Many deities were said to be able to change into owls, and perhaps the most famous was the Greek goddess Athena, who was famous for her strategy and intelligence. To this very day, the capital city of Greece, Athens, has Athena's owl as its symbol. Should the hooting owl come looking for you this Halloween, it indicates the need for wise counsel or further information before you make a decision. Considered action is warranted. Think before you act emotionally, and ensure you think strategically, not impulsively. Sorry about that. Ugh. Sometimes I just cannot speak. But yeah, so this is not acting on emotion right now. Don't act emotionally. Kind of step back if you can. Look at the situation from a different perspective. You may feel the urge to act at this time, but you know, it's saying considered action is warranted. You need to consider what your options are here. You need to consider what's really going on. You need to consider, you know, that this is Venus retrograde energy that is making you feel this way, that is making you want to rush forward into something, or you know, act really passionately and emotionally. Don't act on emotion. What is that It's Always Sunny episode, or they're all trying to be normal and not trying to act. I think it's like they're not trying to fight emotionally. They're not trying to get their emotions involved. And it's like you need to employ that at this time. You need to just not try to act on emotion and really try to think it out before you look before you leap at this time. Okay, considered action is needed. All right, so let's look at your challenge here. The witch, the witch, the witch. Interesting. I gotta find it though now. Here we go. All right, the witch, the earthy weaver of the worlds. Here, I'm gonna try to zoom in on it there a little bit better. Earth, air, fire, water, a woman lovely, a woman strange, weaver of the worlds, the moon's daughter, witch, the catalyst for change. Witches have had a bad PR day for a couple millennia now. Originally, the healers or cunning women of the village. The very word witch comes from the Celtic word wicke, meaning weaver or wise. I can't. Please don't make fun of the way I just said that. That was so embarrassing. When the new religion of Christianity spread through the land, the custodians of the old pagan ways, in part witches, were labeled as evil and, as we know from history, persecuted. They were driven underground or under the night sky into the shadows of misunderstanding and darkness. However, for the purpose of Halloween, let's look at witches as the weavers of magic and change. Through spells and rituals, and even through herbal recipes, yes, often brewed in a cauldron, they weave the powers of this world and the next in synergy to solve problems and heal. Holding the witch card means that you can weave your own change throughout your life, and that magic is indeed afoot. You must understand that you have power and it is real. It may also indicate that others may be threatened by your developing personal power, and that they may not appreciate or like the changes in you as you grow. Be prepared for this and do not be discouraged. New friends and better opportunities will be attracted instead. Wow, so this could be an interesting time where a lot of you guys could be, getting rid of those false friends, doing some housekeeping in a way of the people in your life that no longer serve you, the people that are not good to you, the people or friends in your life that only bring you down or only keep you caged, with what they want to do. It's the people that are more controlling, that don't like the way you're changing and becoming yourself, but you're growing into something more. You're like rushing into it. And Spirit says to take it slow this month for sure. Take it slow. Don't act emotionally, but there are people that are not going to like the way you're changing here. But you know what? This is not about them. If it doesn't serve them, then get them out, because other people, better situations, better people will come in, is what it's saying here. So, you can weave your own change throughout your life, and don't be afraid of your own power here. You have a lot of power in order to make these changes, and that's why you're so excited to act on something. But you know what? Keep that power. Keep that power within, and the hearth is saying happiness is in our hearts and homes. So this is the solution. So the challenge is, as you're going through this, you may have to get rid of some people. You may have conflicts. You may have the foresight in order to not act emotionally when certain people lash out at you in the changes in your life. If you're in a relationship and somebody doesn't like the way you're changing, it can create conflict, and you might want to act emotionally and be like, bye. But you can also say, hey, let's work on this. Let's work on this issue. Let's get over this, because I love you and I want to be with you. Because they don't want to be, because what they're doing is they're being threatened by the change here. It's scary, change. Sometimes people don't like it. Sometimes people think, if you're changing, you could leave me or something like that. If you're in a relationship, or maybe the people that you thought, or maybe if you just started dating somebody, or the people that you thought you were interested in, you're like, I'm over that. I'm so over that, and I think I want to go for this other person here. But you know what? Right now, the energy is here that is saying to work on your hearth, and I think hearth is going to be, I had it yesterday, so we're going to talk about your solution here and how these all interrelate, because I'm really excited to see how they all interrelate and explain it to you guys. Hearth. Okay. Happiness in our hearts and homes. The heart of every home, the fire that unites, winter's warmth, centers, stories, love, and delights. The ancient Romans believed that every home had a heart, and it was the hearth. Where the fire burned, the family gathered for sustenance, communication, and protection. This concept was so important to the culture that there was a huge city hearth, the Vestal Temple, where the fire of the home goddess Vesta burned forever without ever going out. This sacred flame was protected by the soldiers with their very lives should there be an invasion. The place where the goddess Vesta was honored within every ordinary home was also the hearth, and it is where women prepared food and cooked. Some of the food was always offered back into the fire as an offering to Vesta for her blessing and protection. Often husbands were sent away on military duty for years on end, and the wives at home were not just expected to keep the home and often the business running, but to wait for their husbands faithfully until they returned. They prayed to Vesta to ensure the family members' safe return, to keep the fires of love stoked. The saying, keep the home fires burning, was inspired by this practice. Should the hearth card appear in your divination, you are being asked to look at your idea, of what home and family is for you. Take the time to build a fire and have it burning brightly. Make your relationship a priority. If there is conflict within your home and family, it is time to take concrete steps to address the issue for good. If you or a member of your family is away from home due to travel or work, know that protection is being given. Wow. Okay, so now I'm getting some other messages here. Some Sagittarians, I feel like, are coming out to their families about their sexuality, or they want to. And some of them might not like these changes, or they might not like who you're with if you started dating somebody. Or again, I think that some of this is about coming out to your family and realizing that this is an issue that needs to be addressed. If they're not okay with this about side of you, if they're not okay with this, you need to address this and tell them how it makes you feel and be like, I love you, and this doesn't change that, and it shouldn't change that. So let's work on this. This is also saying, again, the owl with the witch and the hearth here, very interesting. Yeah, so your solution here is to work on these problems. If you have people that are, are starting to bring you down and aren't happy with the changes that you want to make and that you see in yourself and in your life here, you don't act emotionally again. Like, be above it. Be wise seeing, wise action. Take action wisely. Don't look before you leap, and don't make it an emotional, like, I'm going to start sobbing about it. You got to talk about it rationally with these people, because they, for some reason, don't like your change. For one reason or another, they're unhappy with the change that they are seeing in you. And it's good change. You're making the right choices. You're moving on to the right place, but there are people in your life that are not going to accept that. And it's either you need to cut them out, or you need to work on it and, build up your hearth with people that love you and that support you in any sort of relationship thing, or if that's what you want in a partner. And this is an issue that you are working on with your partner where they don't like the changes. You guys need to work on these changes together. You need to address this issue and work on it if you want it to, if you want this relationship to last. If not, you have to let it go. But yeah, Sagittarius, I think that was really, really lovely for